Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Ahmad Nawaz and welcome to this very exclusive program on Ptv World. We're here at the aircraft manufacturing factory in Kamra and we're celebrating Pakistan Air Force Day. All the noise you can hear behind me is the work being done in producing one of the best machines for Pakistan, that is the Jf-17 Thunder, the pride of Pakistan. There's the sub-assembly that you see here where different parts are being manufactured. We'll be showing you all of these details, of course, from the parts manufacturing towards the sub-assembly and then towards the final assembly where the aircraft is then put together and, of course, handed over to its designated squadron and, of course, tested by test pilots at the same time as well. So let's just go and take a look where the Jf-17 is produced in Pakistan. It's a bit noisy, but that tells you that work never stops in the aircraft manufacturing factory that we're in. Now I have with me Squadron Leader Farhan, who's the Deputy Chief Engineer here as well. And let's talk to him. Sir, what is this facility? First of all, tell us about this.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. This is the facility called Structure Build-up Area. It is between the parts manufacturing, where we initially make the parts of the aircraft. Then at this facility, we assemble those aircraft and we push it to the final assembly hangar where all the assemblies are joined together and it becomes in the shape of the aircraft. Here we start from for example, this is the model. We look into this model and we follow some document which is the assembly procedure, how we assemble the aircraft. This is the first phase of the wing of Jf-17 aircraft. All the structural parts are assembled together in the first phase of the wing assembly area. Now after assembly the structure part, there are two colors. We can see the green color and the yellow color. The green color shows this is the area where fuel will be stored ultimately when the wing is manufactured in the final shape. After this phase, we bring the wing assembly to final assembly stage where we install skins of the wing. Then it becomes the whole, after completing this area, we bring it downstairs and we install the upper skin on the wing. Now it is almost in the final shape. FOD is being carried out. Then the final panels will be closed and leak test will be carried out. When it is completed, it will be pushed to final assembly to install on the aircraft. Just like the wing, we also manufacture this VT sub-assembly. Same process, almost same process. Also we manufacture the front fuselage, middle fuselage, rear fuselage. These fuselages are combined together over here with the help of the jigs. And after making all these assembly, we push them to final assembly stage where they are assembled together and it becomes in the form of the aircraft.
Definitely. Thank you so much. I have with me Squadron Leader Tayyib, who's the Deputy Chief Engineer at this facility we are in. Tayyib, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam ji.
Tayyib, first of all, tell me, what do we see here? What is this facility? And tell us about the amazing machinery that we see behind us.
Ji, this is Structural Workshop 107. The machines behind you are 5-axis machining centers. They are actually machining aerospace standard aluminium here. We receive raw material and we cut the parts, we machine the parts according to the features and dimensions we require here. So we are running these machines 24/7 here and the required parts are being manufactured here and they are being assembled for Jf-17 aircraft in further assembly processes.
And it's important to see that these are not common machines that are available everywhere. So this is a state-of-the-art facility of Pakistan Air Force.
Exactly, this is state-of-the-art facility. These 5-axis machining centers are one of the best in aerospace business all over the world. And you can see that they are Forest Ligne French machines and they have high accuracy. The accuracy we are machining here are in microns and they are highly accurate machines.
Thank you so much, Tayyib.
Thank you.
We're in the final assembly area now where the aircraft is put together and of course from here onwards it goes towards the testing phase. I have with me Squadron Leader Hassan who would be explaining different aspects of his domain as well and he's a test engineer. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
How are you, sir?
Alhamdulillah.
Right, do tell me about your domain of work. When we call you a test engineer, what does that mean?
Actually, as a test engineer, I have to do two specific things. Number one is as soon as the aircraft is manufactured from the final assembly, we receive the aircraft, we verify the aircraft's reliability through functional check flights. And moreover, we carry out the test and trials of the aircraft, keeping in view the improvement in the system. And we provide the higher-ups with the field level information in order to improve the system.
Right. How would you rate Jf-17 as an aircraft in your domain? Because we obviously say that this is something that is continuously advancing in terms of its technology.
Of course, this aircraft is basically designed keeping in view the present and the future requirements. The aircraft structure, especially the avionics structure, is purely modular, which helps the aircraft. I would like to say that just by replacing one component or one box in the aircraft, I can upgrade the aircraft. So in such a way, the aircraft is continuously evolving, and all the things, all the components, avionics is continuously improving with the passage of time.
Thank you so much, Ahsan.
Good enough. Thank you very much.
I'm now at the final assembly area, which is considered one of the most important locations of the aircraft manufacturing factory in terms of the Jf-17 Thunder. And I have with me a gentleman who's the manager for avionics, Squad Leader Arsalan. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Arsalan, do tell me about this, because we have heard from multiple people that this is the most important place in the aircraft manufacturing factory. Why is it so?
Yes, this is the birthplace of Jf-17. We receive all the major assemblies from structure build-up group over here, and then those assemblies include wings, vertical tail, horizontal stabilizer, and then we assemble all of these major assemblies over here. And then the aircraft goes through the assembly process in which the build-up of hydraulic pipes, nitrogen pipes, and various electrical components and avionics components are installed. And from there onwards, we do the comprehensive testing of various flight control systems and other systems of the aircraft. And from eventually, it goes through various processes and comprehensive testing, and then it rolls out from here to the flight test station for further qualification stages.
Well, this does look like, because we're seeing people are still busy with their jobs, that this is a place that never sleeps, probably working around the clock.
Yeah, we work 24/7 over here, and we are proud of that. It is a cumbersome process. It has various stages, and it needs dedication to do this job. And mashallah, we are now self-reliant in it.
There are many components to the AMF, but one of the most important, I think, and in terms of the largest export that Pakistan Air Force and Pakistan has, it is definitely the Super Mushak, being deployed by the Pakistan Air Force as the main training aircraft as well, and for so many other countries as well. We've now been joined by Wing Commander Amir, who is here and who is heading the aircraft manufacturing, obviously, in this Mushak factory as well. Let's talk to him. Sir, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
How are you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you.
Right, so do tell us about the Super Mushak and what we're doing here in this complex right now, because we understand what an important factor this is for Pakistan Air Force.
Actually, Super Mushak aircraft is the, we can call it is the backbone of this PAC, and it is a commercial venture also, and we also deliver the Mushak aircraft, Super Mushak aircraft to Army and other sister forces and international customers. And this also gives a very good impact on the national economy.
Right. So do tell us about the aircraft itself as well, because we know it's a primary aircraft for Pakistan Air Force for training, and now the Super Mushak that we're seeing. Obviously, there was a Mushak before. This is a new variant at the same time. Do tell us about this.
Actually, we started with the Mushak aircraft that is basically used for the training of our pilots, and then we converted it to Super Mushak aircraft. The Super Mushak is a more powerful aircraft. It is a 260 horsepower aircraft, and we have the complete capability to produce this aircraft in Pakistan. Only the engine and propeller, we use it from the international. Otherwise, all the items we assemble here and we make it here. And previously, when we were being trained last 22 years ago, so we used to have an analog complex machine to fly, and we used to give them to the 17 years or 18 years old boy. So that is a difficult thing for him. But now it is a complete glass cockpit, like you are using an Android phone. So it is just like that you are flying a simulator. So it's a very easy, and the students can learn it. And The most important thing, it is the most safest aircraft that can land at any area, even it is an unpaved area, it is a field. So if you don't fiddle with it, and your life is not at all at risk.
Right. Thank you so much, Wing Commander.
Thank you.
Another component that we see here is the avionics production as well. And now I have with me Squadron Leader Hassan, who's part of this avionics production as well. Sir, Assalamu alaikum.
Sir, Assalamu alaikum, sir.
What would you like to tell us about the facility that we are in? And we see a couple of radars as well. So can you please brief us on what is happening and what the facility over here is for?
Sir, I am Squadron Leader Hassan from Avionics Production Factory. So this facility is radar engineering facility, was established at this factory in mid-1980s with the name of CARF to provide in-country overall for low-level ground radars. Subsequently, the capability was enhanced for almost all kind of ground radars of PF inventory. Over past 30 years, Alhamdulillah, APF has successfully kept pace with excruciating development in electronics industry, and presently it is hub of maintenance, repair and overhauling. I would like to share here with complete satisfaction that after going through this whole process and with the efforts made by our engineers and technicians, these radars are brought to their optimum level, which will not allow any aggressor to enter in our airspace. And I believe that our enemy cannot dare to challenge our sovereignty, inshallah.
Inshallah. Sir, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
We have with us now Squadron Leader Inam, who would be briefing us on the various components that we see behind us. Of course, we see a lot of radars and a lot of equipment as well. Assalamu alaikum, how are you?
Sir, walaikum salam. Thank you, sir.
Right, what can you tell us about this facility that we are in and the machinery we see behind us?
Sir, this is a radar integration and test setup. It is basically a fully functional radar. Its electronic and display portion is installed inside this room, while its antenna is installed outside. Here we use this setup as a reference system during radar overhaul. When we receive a radar for overhaul, it is first completely dismantled and stripped down to components and sub-assembly levels. Then these components and sub-assemblies are repaired and optimized at their respective shops, and then finally installed and functionally tested at this setup before its final integration. So this is all.
Definitely, and you, as he mentioned as well, that it's a very important factor that we see, that we need to understand that it's not just the aircraft that are being manufactured or overhauled in this facility as well, but air defense radars is also a very essential part of making sure that Pakistan's territorial sovereignty and integrity stay intact as well, and that's what is being done here by full optimum levels with the testing capabilities and everything that is there. But it's not just the overhauling that we're talking about. Of course, modern day security challenges with the enemy modernizing as well in terms of their equipment, in terms of their military hardware. There are new challenges, new security threats that are there as well. And therefore, evolution of any force is very necessary. And that's what we see here as well, where in this radar that we call it, and it has been upgraded from a 50-year-old system towards something that you see just behind you. And I'd like Inam to tell us more about this. Tell us about the upgradation that we're seeing here, because obviously with modern day challenges we have to evolve.
So basically we deal with overall of ground radars, but additionally we are continuously endeavoring to upgrade our radar fleet in order to make it compatible with the latest challenges and the the latest warfare challenges.
Right, I have with me now Squadron Leader Sobia to know more about the equipment that we see behind us as well. That is definitely as important as the other components we have seen as well. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Right, ma'am, what can you tell me about the equipment that we see behind you?
I will tell you about the FAR Directorate of Avionics Production Factory. This facility was established in Avionics Production Factory in 1998 as a Center of Excellence for airborne radars of Griffo family. Initially, Griffo 7 and Griffo PG radars were co-produced in collaboration with the MSVR of Italy. A total of 70 plus Griffo 7 and Griffo PG radars have been produced since 2008. And since then, the FAR Directorate is being serving as life cycle support for all Griffo radar variants for Pakistan Air Force F7 and Mirage fleet. And as for Pakistan Aeronautical Complex, engineers and technicians of Pakistan Aeronautical Complex are highly committed to provide maintenance supportability to Pakistan Air Force, and they are committed to meet all the emerging challenges to support Pakistan Air Force whether on ground or in air.
Right. Do tell me about the role of women in Pakistan Air Force as well, because we know in the national mainstream and national development, our female counterparts have an equally important role alongside men as well for the defense of the motherland.
Exactly, and we feel equally proud while serving in Pakistan Air Force or in any other defense organization with our male counterparts. We feel equally accomplished, and overall the same opportunities are being given to ladies in the defense forces or at any other forum of Pakistan. So it's very good for ladies to pursue their careers whether in private sector or in defense forces, because as we comprise of 50% total population of Pakistan, so we should put in our best to serve this nation at their best.
Very well said. Thank you so much, coordinators.
Thank you.
Now we're at a facility where we see the avionics of Jf-17 being produced and tested at the same time as well. I have with me Wing Commander Ahmad, who would further brief us as well. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
What can you tell us about the facility we are in? We see a lot of machinery behind us as well, and the purpose of this facility.
Actually, this facility is a generic production line. The equipment that you see at the back, it is basically generic equipment. We can produce the avionics systems, military systems, and other commercial system as well, because these machines, they are having a set of programs which we can configure them and also reprogram them as per the type of the product which we want to produce. So primarily in the commercial business, it is known as electrical assembly line. So we have a set of principles that we follow. By following those principles, we complete the PCBs. We start from the bare board and the components, and subsequently we prepared assembled boards, which subsequently are integrated in the form of a complete box, which is called an LRU, line replaceable unit. Subsequently, these LRUs are integrated and they become part of a complete avionics system. So those avionics systems, then they are integrated and they put in an environment in which aircraft level testing is performed. So all these systems which we produce here, they ultimately become a complete avionics suite, which is part of the Jf-17 avionics system.
Right, so very high-tech stuff that we see going on here as well, and as Wing Commander Ahmad mentioned as well, the real-time scenario testing is done here, as you'd see these machines and of course these components in the aircraft as well, so we can see that they're doing a real-time analysis of these conditions as well. Right, we've talked about a lot of things that are going into avionics as well, and one integral part is integration of the weapons and the flight systems as well. Now I have with me Flight Lieutenant Jamal, who would brief us about the simulator type of things that we are seeing here, a lot of computers and a lot of stuff being done. So let's just ask him. Assalamu alaikum Jamal, how are you?
Oh, Islam, I'm fine, how are you?
I'm very good. Do tell us about the entire facility that we are in right now and what kind of work is being done.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. First of all, I'm an avionics integration engineer. This is a dynamic simulation integration lab. The DSI lab is used for the integration of avionics and weapon systems for the Jf-17 aircraft. The establishment of this lab has transformed Pakistan from a technology using country to a technology developing country. This lab enables us in design, development, integration and testing of avionics and weapon systems for Jf-17. Here we develop the operational flight program for the aircraft, which enhances the overall fleet capability for the aircraft. The avionics integration team has always been the core participant in the envisaged vision of self-reliance for Pakistan. In our country, avionics integration team is the sole authority in this dominion. And we have integrated complex avionics systems with diverse standoff weapons and also multiple types of pods. The standoff weapons we have integrated include those which were instrumental during the Operation Swift Retort also. So I would say that avionics integration has always been and will remain the backbone of the Jf-17 program.
Right, so very high-tech stuff that we see going on here as well, and one integral part is integration of the weapons and the flight systems as well. So let's just ask him. Assalamu alaikum Jamal, how are you?
Oh, Islam, I'm fine, how are you?
I'm very good. Do tell us about the entire facility that we are in right now and what kind of work is being done.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. First of all, I'm an avionics integration engineer.
And we understand that this is a recently developed facility because the dual seat version is one of the new versions of the JF-17, and we have a Block 3 in the process as well.
Yes, this lab is specifically for dual seat aircraft. We also have another lab, DSI-1, for single seat aircraft. Another lab which is under process, under development, under construction for the Block 3 aircraft. But the Block 3 is in prototype version, so we will see it in the near future also.
There's a lot of things involved with this as well, because we see that it's becoming cost effective now for Pakistan in terms of our indigenous production, and that's one of the important things about indigenization, isn't it?
Yes, this lab is instrumental in making Pakistan self-reliant. When we know about the design of the avionics which is working in the aircraft, we can also help develop our own indigenous industries, like we have other industries like AWC and ASCOM. They also assist in developing different avionics systems, which also use the design knowledge which we have acquired. So it is a very important, and as I have mentioned earlier, that it is the backbone of JF-17 program.
Right, definitely is. Thank you so much, Jamal.
Thank you very much.
Right, as Jamal said, that this is the backbone of the JF-17 program as well, and definitely it's through this integration that we see cutting edge technology now being improved and advanced at every stage that we see the JF-17 in. We're at the MRF now, where behind me you see a machine that has an illustrious history of more than 50 years. So you can imagine what kind of overhauling is done here as well. And this is one of the key components of Pakistan Air Force, how they've been able to upgrade and modernize this aircraft and keep it in service for over 50 years. Does say a lot as well. And to talk more on this, we've got the Chief Engineer for Overhauling in this facility as well. We have Mr. Najam. Let's talk to him and let's see what he has to say. Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you?
Well, Islam, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm very good, sir. Kindly introduce yourself and as your responsibilities here in the facility.
I'm Group Captain Najam, and I'm Chief Engineer over here. It is the Aircraft Overhauling Group. Here, the Mirage aircraft is being overhauled. As you know that this aircraft is being with us for the last 50 years, and its overhauling is being done over here. Since as you know that this aircraft was procured from France, from Dassault Aviation, and the OEM, they had defined its 2 overhauls only, but with our own expertise and with our own technical expertise and technical know-how, we have been able to undertake its even 4th overhaul. And it is because of this capability that we have achieved. This aircraft is so potent, and it's flying with new modifications as well. And as you already know that what it has, how it has proven itself during the swift retort, and even the Rafale even Indians have procured. They cannot match the expertise, the potency of this aircraft because of the various modifications, and because how we are maintaining this aircraft. It is because of these skillful technical hands which are behind this aircraft, not only over here, also at the field level, and especially being at MRF. Having acquired this knowledge and expertise on the Western platform, now we are able to undertake overhauling of any type of Western aircraft. So the scale over here, it is an asset for it's a national asset, and we are able to produce this aircraft for the operational requirements. And we have been able to meet our operational demands whenever required.
Sir, I'm tempted to ask you, because we know the purpose of this aircraft with French technology, with the huge delta wing that we see for deep penetration into enemy territory, air to ground, the primary role. But with our overhauling skills and expertise, we have been able to make this aircraft into almost a multi-role aircraft, haven't we?
Yes, yes, of course. Now it's not only for the air to ground role only, or it is in fact a multi-role aircraft with a lot of armament capabilities, weaponry capabilities, and while maintaining its different aircraft systems. And now as you know that we have done even the pressure fueling modification on this aircraft. So due to which the performance and the endurance of this aircraft has increased paramount. So this is another capability that we have achieved, and with this the potency, the operational capability of this aircraft has really increased a lot.
Definitely, sir. Thank you so much, Group Captain Najam, for your expert analysis of this entire detailed overview that we see of the MRF as well.
Thank you very much.
Well, you heard Group Captain Najam as well, the Chief Engineer of Overhauling, and obviously the Mirage is something that we all need to cherish as a nation as well. More than 50 years of illustrious history, and you know, there's a lot to say about this machine as an aircraft, and of course as a prime weapon that has been used against enemy threats as well, because of course, like we said, French technology brought in those days from the 80s up till now, so many overhauls done, and definitely does prove the fact that Pakistan Air Force has the capability and the expertise needed for modern day requirements as well, even if it's using these machines from the 1980s and bringing them at par with the current regional security challenges that we see as well. Now we're at the ARF, which stands for the Aircraft Rebuild Factory. Now this is a very, very important component of this facility that we've seen here, because you can see not just the F7s, the F7PGs, but recently as well, now they have the capability of overhauling the Jf-17 Thunder aircraft as well. So you can realize what kind of importance the ARF has for Pakistan Air Force. And just recently, they've also now have the capabilities of assisting Pakistan Army Aviation as well for their helicopters, the Cobra gunships as well. They're overhauling, and of course, a lot of electrical work can be done here as well. So you understand the importance now of the ARF, what it has here for Pakistan Air Force, for the defense of the country indeed as well. And like I said, multiple aircrafts are being overhauled here as well, rebuilt at the same time as well. All things related to these aircraft could be done. So you've got a number of aircraft, including the F7, F7PG, Jf-17 Thunder, Army's helicopters as well, and also the K-8, which you've seen in the Sherdils as well. This facility also has the capability of overhauling the K-8 aircraft as well at the same time. So a lot is being done, which speaks volume of the importance of this facility here at the AMRF as well, which is the ARF, of course. Right, we witnessed different sections and different segments of the aircraft manufacturing factory, and of course we showed you different assembly lines as well at the same time. Now we've been joined with us the very honorable, the managing director of the aircraft manufacturing factory, Air Vice Marshal Shamsul Haq. Sir, Assalamu alaikum, how are you?
Walaikum salam, I'm good.
Sir, thank you so much for taking out time and obviously your hospitality as well, sir. First of all, I'd like to ask you a bit about the AMF as well. What kind of aircrafts are here? What are we doing? And what do we see in the near future for the AMF as well?
As the name suggests, AMF stands for Aircraft Manufacturing Factory. It is part of the Pakistan Aeronautical Complex. We have 4 factories, out of which we are the manufacturing entity of PAC Kamra. We started our journey in 1975 from the semi-knockdown kits of Mushak aircraft. It was MFI-17 made by SAB. And in 80s we started indigenous manufacturing of the same aircraft by the name of Mushak. And subsequently we made our own modifications and in the engine and other ancillary equipment, and we got our aircraft, a new aircraft by the name of Super Mushak, in 2000s. And initially it was bought by Airforce and the Pakistan Army, and then subsequently we upgraded these aircraft, and now we are having Super Mushak aircraft, which is flying around the world also. And in 2007-8 time frame, we started manufacturing Jf-17 in phases. Initially it was small batch parts manufacturing, sub-assembly, assembly, and then subsequently, we are manufacturing this aircraft now, which is, I think, inshallah ta'ala, going to be the mainstay of Pakistan Air Force.
Sir, definitely it's a hot topic right now as well, with a lot of speculation about the Block 3, what it will be, what it would be. But sir, considering that F-16 has been the prime aircraft for Pakistan Air Force, and we do know that the maintenance costs involved with that aircraft have been very high. But and once we move towards an indigenously developed aircraft, sir, how is the difference that we see in terms of the costing and also in terms of the capabilities?
Good question, before touching on the cost, maintenance cost aspect, I want to highlight that, by now we have inducted 117 plus aircraft, of Jf-17 in Pakistan Air Force. The aircraft which you're seeing behind is primarily the dual seat, which is the latest addition in the arsenal of Pakistan Air Force. Block 1, we had block 1, some quantity numbers. Then block 2, it is a gradual enhancement of the capabilities and all that stuff. Before touching upon the maintenance cost effectiveness, I would like to tell you that we have gradually built up this aircraft from block 1 numbers, then block 2. Now we are inshallah starting the manufacturing of block 3 aircraft. This, which would be a state of the art, it would have fully fly-by-wire flight controls. Beside that, it would have AESA radar and some state-of-the-art electronics installed in this aircraft with respect to electronic warfare and targeting pod, and it would have the capability of carrying state-of-the-art arsenal, with big number. So this is one aspect, the genesis of the aircraft itself, with this dual seat also, in addition to the same setup. Then the question which you have asked, please try to understand that this is a homegrown, indigenous produced aircraft which is being manufactured in Pakistan. So the maintenance cost per sortie kind of a thing, or the production cost of this aircraft, you can gauge from this fact that we are giving the capability of not superior, close to the 4th gen aircraft, all right, at the cost at almost 1/3. So, and it is homegrown solution. The components and everything is being, made here and all that stuff. So it has a lot of add-ons. The same kind of aircraft platform has been bought. Not all right, Rafale is better than Jf-17 in aspects, some aspects, but it has costed a lot to our neighbors. So this you can gauge from the fact that also, if you think, if you see at their indigenous program of Tejas, it has still not been inducted in their Air Force. So it speaks volumes of the professionalism of the engineers, the pilots, and the technical staff or workforce, which has done a marvelous job in producing this aircraft.
Certainly, sir. It's not just a visibly beautiful bird that we see, but also in terms of considering the regional security situation now, Pakistan's geostrategic location at the same time. What would you gauge, sir, that does it live up to these expectations? Because it is something certainly for each and every one of us to be proud of.
Yeah, sure. It is, you can gauge from this fact that this aircraft is capable of all the 3 roles. It is capable of having air-to-air fight, air-to-ground, and air-to-sea role. Normally, any modern state-of-the-art 4th gen aircraft does not have this capability, or they do not give it to the nations, whosoever is making it. One, and number 2, it costs a lot. And one more thing, I want to add on here is that it is not only the aircraft state of the aircraft, 4th gen, 5th gen aircraft, which matters. It is in a battlefield or air campaign. It is not only this aircraft, the fighter aircraft. There are other ground sensors, EW platforms, then inter platform communication and all that stuff. So it's a whole spectrum, you know, which counts while doing some kind of a mission or a air campaign kind of thing. So we have, alhamdulillah, achieved a lot of indigenization in that field also. So alhamdulillah, you know, we are quite satisfied.
And it's not just an aircraft, sir, that is living up to the expectations of the Pakistani people, but one very important aspect that I'd like to ask you and the public must know is that it is truly something that Pakistan is exporting at the same time as well. Not just this, but Super Mushak, which has been a prime export material for us as well. So your thoughts on that?
Before touching upon this Jf-17 aircraft export, let me inform you that, you know, our primary flying training aircraft, Super Mushak, is flying around the world in various Gulf and African countries. We have exported almost 80 aircraft, you know, around the world, and they are performing a wonderful service to the nations where the air forces where they are they have bought, and we are as an OEM providing them all kind of support, you know, in the spares support and any other maintenance issues they encounter while flying. And on this Jf-17 side, I would obviously not inform you, but we have exported few units to 2 countries, all right, and we are in negotiation with some other also countries, and it is also going places, inshallah ta'ala, you know, and it is a kind of a proud moment or pride for us, you know, that we are producing these aircraft and giving it to Pakistan Air Force also, and exporting them to different countries also.
Certainly, sir. I think entire nation is proud of the fact that we've got people like you in command of this, and obviously the team that you have from each and every one of them that we've met, we've seen all the technical staff who've been working day and night for this, sir. Finally, any message you'd like to give on the occasion of Defence Day and also Pakistan Air Force Day being celebrated as well?
You know, first of all, a disclaimer, all right. I am not the one, you know. I am just heading a group of people who are intelligent, smart, just like any other Pakistani. You know, they are pilots, engineers, technicians. You know, I am just the head of the organization. You know, I am blessed with some of the smartest brains Pakistan has to offer, or rather world has to offer. All right, and this is only because of their hard work, 24/7, 365. That these aircraft are being produced and combat ready in Pakistan Air Force and flying around the world also, Super Mushak and Jf-17. The only message I want to give to Pakistani nation is that, you know, we are blessed to have such a beautiful country.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much for your time, and it's been an honor, sir, having you. Thank you. We talked about the asset, but you've got to talk about the people who are involved in testing this as well, because obviously these are the people who are going to finalize everything before obviously this gets inducted, and they're playing the key role in this as well. And for that very reason, I've been joined now on the plane. He's almost ready to complete whatever task has been given to him. He's a test pilot at here, the AMF as well, and he's a test pilot for the Jf-17. He's none other than squadron leader Ikrash Munir. Assalamu alaikum, how are you?
Walaikum salam. Thank you so much for having me on board.
Right. I want to ask you first of all, what kind of aircrafts have you flown besides Jf-17 so far?
Well, prior to the Jf-17, I had previously flown F-16 aircraft for 3 years. Prior to that, I have also an experience on K-8 aircraft along with F-7s. So right now, I have a hefty experience before coming here as a test pilot for Jf-17 aircraft.
So, Because you've been on the F-16 as well, and that has been one of the primary aircraft for Pakistan Air Force, and now JF-17, obviously something to be proud of, indigenously developed. How do you see both of these aircraft? Because we have been saying that JF-17 is perfect in every role as compared to any other aircraft.
Well, first of all, the most important thing that is pertinent to this aircraft is that it is an indigenous aircraft. All this authority that we have related to this aircraft right now is not available with us with any other type of an aircraft. So as long as the JF-17 is concerned, it has been referenced with the latest flying jets which are presently being operated around the world. So we have the rooms of improvement all day long. So once JF-17 was induced, it has traveled a long way to the present state you are seeing it right now. So we started off bit by bit, and right now the position where this jet is presently at, it has traveled enormously way forward.
Indeed, a way forward as well, and a way forward indeed, because right now what we're seeing is this is an aircraft which is a dual seat, because before that we've had a single seat version as well. So how would you rate this capability? Because people want to understand the difference and the importance of having a dual seat aircraft.
Well, previously it used to be that JF-17 aircraft did not have a dual seat aircraft, so there were some impediments related to that. There used to be a new guy who's going to be coming in and converting onto this aircraft. He would do it directly without going through a dual seater. So for that, we used to have the people coming in with a greater flying experience so that the risk mitigation is catered for. But subsequently, with the induction of JF-17B, the pilots who are coming in for the conversions of JF-17 aircraft, their experience can be subsequently reduced. Along with that, it has a great, you can see, a prospect once it comes to training, because with an instructor sitting in the back seat, you can always instruct the student to how to fly that aircraft and how to employ this aircraft in the perfect way, as perfectly as possible.
I think that's the best part about it for people who wanted to know, all the aviation enthusiasts who've been asking these questions through various platforms of what is the importance of a dual seat. So now you understand that if you've got an instructor with you, then it's another process to train a student on the aircraft in a dual seat as well. Finally, I'd like to ask you about the capabilities of this beautiful bird, because like we say that it is a multi-role aircraft, air to air, air to sea, air to ground. What kind of weaponry or payload, as we say, can it carry? And what kind of capabilities do we see it giving to Pakistan Air Force?
Well, it is one state-of-the-art jet. Let me tell you, I've flown the F-16 as well, and this aircraft has been referenced with that aircraft. All the changes and all the developments that we have been carrying around for so long time, that have really come into a true life once we talk about this latest JF-17B aircraft. Furthermore, I'd like to add one thing as well, that do not treat this aircraft just only as a trainer aircraft. It is capable of carrying out all the mission capabilities just like a single-seater. So it has a dual purpose. It is also a combat fighter, as well as it is serving the purpose of a training aircraft. Apart from that, JF-17 aircraft, you can compare it with any other fourth gen fighter aircraft. You can compare it with that, because right now in PF, JF-17 is the aircraft which can simultaneously go for a long-range standoff delivery, as well as it has the capability of carrying a BVR. So you can be a swing role fighter where you can always go for an air-to-ground delivery followed by a air-to-air tasking as well. Apart from that, this aircraft is fully capable of carrying a targeting pod, whereby which you can carry out the air-to-ground targeting regardless of the day. You can do it at night regardless of the weather. Right. Apart from that, it has a very good standoff capability as far as the long-range air-to-ground missiles and bombs are concerned. It is also being employed in air-to-sea roles. So we have a very potent missile which makes this aircraft fully capable of carrying out an anti-ship vessel role.
Right, they're called the few but the proud. They're the league of extraordinary gentlemen that are out there as well. And obviously, Viper plus Thunder drivers is what they call them. Thank you so much, Squadron Leader Ikrash, for talking to us, giving us the insight, and definitely good luck with your mission.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Boy, is it noisy out here, but that is the thunder roaring. You can hear the noise behind me, and that is the real roar of the thunder as well. Now, Ikrash, since this is your baby, you're in command of this aircraft, how about, maybe I can get a few perks and be your Gibbs for some time?
Why not? It would be my pleasure. You can always go and have a joy as guy in the back seat.
There we go. I have with me an opportunity to be the guy in the back seat, and because obviously the pilot in command has told me I can, so maybe I should. Absolutely. Well, there you have it. I have finally qualified to be a Gibbs 2 squad leader Ikrash, who's going to be my pilot in command as well. And this is one beautiful aircraft, not just from the outside as well, but even sitting inside, you can see all the technological gizmos that are here, that this is certainly something to be proud of. You've obviously witnessed all the aspects of the aircraft manufacturing factory, everything that Pakistan Air Force is doing right now. So we need to be proud of the fact that we're an indigenous Air Force now, an Air Force which is second to none, and definitely something to be proud of. I'm going to enjoy some more time in this aircraft, but for you viewers, I think this is certainly a treat on the occasion of Defence Day of Pakistan and Pakistan Air Force Day as well. Now from me and the entire team of PTV World, and also I'm the Gibbs, but pilot in command is Squadron Leader Ikrash. We bid you farewell, goodbye, but we say Pakistan Zindabad.